Today, the final college football playoff rankings were decided early Sunday. LSU is the number one overall team in the eyes of the committee, which means the Tigers will face number 4 Oklahoma in the first semifinal December 28th. That'll be the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, LSU's first playoff appearance, and they're a double-digit favorite. In the second semifinal, what a heavyweight battle. Number 2 Ohio State, number 3 Clemson in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Buckeyes are 0-3 all-time against Clemson, including a 31-0 loss in the semis in 2016. The Buckeyes, however, do own the best FPI chance to win it all at 35%. LSU was second at 28%. And as for Dabo Swinney's Clemson team, he's getting pretty used to being overlooked.
It's the first time since 1966 that a team started the season number 1, went undefeated through the regular season, and finished third. Okay, so that's history. First time that's happened. All right, number 1, so congratulations on that.
Free fuel, when you're going across country, man, free fuel's good. It's expensive. Gas costs a lot of money, so when you can get free fuel, it's always good.
That was on our special yesterday where they announced it. And Rex, I thought of you because A, you love Clemson, you love Dabo, your son played there, but B, when you're a coach, that's the kind of thing you dream about, yes?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you see it right there. It's like any little thing that you can motivate your team with, he does it. And, I mean, look, here, we can say what we want, but the polls actually got it right. I mean, LSU deserved to be number 1 because of who they played and all that. Clemson, but make no mistake about it, I still expect Clemson to win this whole thing.
Clemson, by the way, is a 2-point favorite over Ohio State. There's a big difference between what you earned and how good you are. Is the general consensus, Laura, you cover this all the time. Do you think most people think Clemson is the best team?
I think so, and I think that's why all of this was shaded around Clemson, Greeny. When everyone was looking at what was going to happen with the seeding here, and specifically that number 1 and number 2 spot, it's because no one wants to play Clemson because of all the respect toward them. So, yes, maybe Dabo's using this as a chip on the shoulder for his team to say, look, everyone's doubting us. These other teams in college football are not doubting Clemson. They do not want to play them. And I don't want to make this about Alabama because they're not a factor in any of this right now. But if you remember what happened to Alabama against Clemson in the national championship game last year, it was because Alabama had gotten complacent. Nick Saban said his team started to feel themselves. They started to feel good about themselves. Dan, Dabo is so scared of that happening with his team. I see fear in what he's doing, the best kind of fear. But he's trying so hard to make sure they don't get complacent.
But that's why he takes moments and coaches through them. I talked about the kicker last week. He flipped out on his kicker. I talked about him kind of using some, they don't even want us in the playoff. And listen, there's no quarterback in college football playing better than the kid at Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. That is.
I don't agree with that, but go on. I'll let you keep talking.
I love it.
Whoa.
Burrow's okay.
Can't run from it.
Keep running.
There's no running back playing better in college football.
He's done.
And there's one defense. There's one defense in the country.
Oh, gee, did he really just say that? Come on.
Sit down.
Let me bring Marcus back.
I'd like to say it, preach to him.
Sit down.
Tell him the way it is, Daniel.
No, hang on.
Tell him the way it
There
is.
were 3 defenses in America going into this weekend who had not given up 21 points. Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia. There's one left. There's one defense who has not given up 21 points in the country this year.
Who did they play, though?
Who did LSU just play?
Yeah, they just played Georgia.
Oh, okay. All right. How many touchdowns they gave up?
I trust your reaction is because you believe Joe Burrow is playing better than
If
any
you've been
quarterback.
watching college football, everybody thinks Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in college football. I mean, look, I love you to death. But numbers, have you watched the games? Let's go look at the schedule between LSU and who they play compared to Clemson who they play.
We're going to do the schedule.
You have to.
We're going to do the schedule.
Let me tell you something. If this was flipped, look, Laura knows better than anybody.
We don't live in a world of ifs, Marcus.
Laura knows me better than anybody. I would crush LSU if they didn't play up to the standard.
He would, and he
would
has.
kill them.
How did they not play up to the standard?
If they played the schedule that Clemson played, I would sit on this show and say, I don't know if LSU is as good as everybody
They beat
thinks they
everybody
are.
by 40. They can only play the teams that are on their schedule. Stop going to the
Absolutely.
Strength of schedule
Absolutely.
matters, though.
But the
in
schedule
this.
Check what
matters.
their record is against the
schedule
dominant
matters.
teams in college
so
football
why
the
are
last
we
3
ranking
years.
teams off of who they play?
This conversation will likely continue through the remainder of our day, but it won't be on TV because First Take is coming up next. Jimmy G and the Niners.
Beastie line, G. Look at me today, G. I'm already a beast, so we just gonna be beastie. I call you bro.
Yes.
You are my bro. Are you crying, son?
This is not exactly how I meant for this to go.
Take that and smoke it.
It is a Tuesday staple, but Swagoo is with us on a Monday. He will interpret the words of others because you need to understand what they're really trying to say. We begin with the Patriots. They heard boos at home yesterday in their loss to the Chiefs. Tom Brady was asked about it after the game.
You hear cheers, you hear boos. It's part of being in sports.
That's what Brady says. What does Swagoo say?
Man, this is what Tom Brady really meant to say. Who the hell y'all booing? I'm the GOAT. You better boo the rest of these bums that I'm playing with on offense. But I know damn well y'all ain't booing me after 20 years and 6 Super Bowl and 9 appearances. Boo them. Don't boo me. If you even want to boo Belichick, and I know he the greatest coach ever, boo him. But you damn sure ain't booing me for all that I done for you.
Well done. Let's go to the next one. My favorite play of the day, maybe my favorite play of the year. George Kittle, the play of the season, carrying people on his back on a huge 4th down conversion that set up a game-winning field goal. Here's what his coach, Kyle Shanahan, had to say about it.
Kittle made a hell of a route, broke that tackle and taking it down the sidelines. I thought I was going to have to call a number of more plays to get into field goal range, but Kittle took care of that fast, which probably saved a few years of my life.
All right, that's what he said. What does Swagoo say?
Shanahan, you are exactly right. You don't have to call another play because Kittle is a backyard brawler. There used to be this dude named Kimbo Slice that would knock people out for a little sum of change. Then he ended up in the MMA knocking people out. That is who you have that tight end. He's damn near his own Infinity Stone from Avengers. Just give him the ball and crazy things will happen. You will either win the universe back or you'll lose the universe depending on how he feels. Even when they face mask him, even when he's blind, he punches people in the face and gets yardage. Kittle is an Infinity Stone or he's / Kimbo Slice. Take it how you will.
All right, next we get to Baker Mayfield, who after a Browns win yesterday, threw the team's medical staff under the bus for how they've handled receiver Odell Beckham's sports hernia injury. Here's what he said.
I'd say that, it wasn't handled right. He's not able to run as well as he should be able to, as well as he knows, and that's frustrating for him. You can sense that's some of his frustration where that comes from. So it wasn't handled the right way in our training room. So it is what it is, and so his not 100% is still good enough for us.
Oh my God. Anyway, that's what he said. What does Swagoo say?
So, hey, listen, guys, listen. I'm Baker Mayfield. I'm the head coach. I'm the quarterback. I'm the GM, I'm the president, damn it, I'm Haslam. I own the whole thing. So I can say what I want to say. The training staff, they got to take care of me as a player, the player part of me, they are not taking care of OBJ. And look, I got to do something about it. I got to move this franchise in the right direction. It ain't going to be with my arm. It's going to be with what I'm saying. So I'm going to keep saying stuff until I finally get something right. But until the end, y'all should have took better care of OBJ. And if I get a bang or a bruise, please take care of me.
I want to bring Rex into this conversation because we were talking about this earlier.
Come on, Coach.
And obviously, as our producers talk, Rex doesn't hear it because he blew right through our break. So you didn't get a chance to give your commentary, but you and Baker have had some comments over the course of the year. What was your take on this?
Par for the course. I mean, this kid just doesn't get it. And look, part of us, we created this monster. I mean, 20 commercials he's done. We gave him the Heisman when it should have been given to Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's picked the head coach of this franchise, to your point right there. I mean, this guy, why not? GM, everything. And to me, we helped create it, but kid, grow up, and there's people where are the people that help this guy to just say, hey, listen, shut up, don't swing at every pitch, talk about the game, talk about how you're going to get better, because trust me, Cat, you need to get a hell of a lot better.
Listen, they've had in the last 3 weeks 2 big divisional wins. One of them was against the Steelers, and all anyone wanted to talk about after that was Myles Garrett, and understandably so. And now they win a game in the division, and all anyone's talking about is Baker Mayfield throwing his training staff under the bus.
He's overshadowed it all year long. Look, the responsibility for a quarterback is to not only lift their team, but to make sure the message is right coming out of the building. That's your responsibility. That's why they pay them all that money. That's why they usually get drafted first round, first overall. Baker Mayfield ain't figured that out yet.
If you think last year's offseason in Cleveland was interesting, I can't wait to see.
I can't wait to
what starts to happen now. Meanwhile, Week 14 is not done. Big one tonight, Monday Night Football. It's a must-win for the Eagles. They're a game back of the Cowboys, as you know, in the NFC East. They're hosting Saquon Barkley and Eli Manning and the Giants. It's 8 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6. Okay, the other huge